You know, here's the thing. Now that we have this thing going on where I'm making these videos and you're watching them, you just have to accept the fact that I'm a vegan. And no, I don't need you to become a vegan. That's not important. But the fact is, someone in your social circle, even though this is not a real actual relationship, it's just through YouTube, but you have to accept the fact that a vegan is now in your sphere of influence to some degree. Again, good for you. I'm not trying to get you to become a vegan. I don't care that you're a vegan or not. I don't care that, whatever, it's fine. But with that being said, a comment coming in this week and someone was, you know, trying to give me a hard time saying that I talk about being a vegan too much and that it's just bro science. And then they quoted a thing I said in the video where I was referring to one of the many documentaries on Netflix I've watched about it, which helped lead me to my decision over 5 years ago to become a vegan. But I believe that we have cells in our body and it's like an on or off switch. And when you consume more animal products, you're keeping the switch on that you're more susceptible to cancer and disease and diabetes and all that stuff. But if you only consume plants like I do, vegetables, fruits, beans, greens, nuts and seeds, notice I don't just eat salads, there's 6 different things. So I said, yeah, that's 6. But I believe by doing that, it helps keep that away. To me, it's common sense that here in America, people talk about the obesity epidemic. Let's talk more about the diabetes epidemic. And people of an older generation in America still aren't putting that together, that by eating so much meat that has an effect on you getting diabetes later on in life. They're not making that connection like I obviously know. That if you eat more animal products and eat more processed food, then you're more likely to get sick. To me, that's not bro science, that's common sense is what that is to me. But this isn't the first time I've had someone say this. On my other channel that I've got, I have had people say that it's just bro science. And that's, I think, where maybe I can agree with that actually. That being a veganism is bro science. Because it has to be. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix, but there's a documentary called What the Health, and where the main agendas of that is to prove that vegans will never be taken seriously by the medical community. Why? Because for things to be proven scientifically, medically, you have to back it up with drugs. You have to show that this drug proved this. What you can't do is prove something medically by not using drugs, by just using plants. The medical community does not allow for that. So by default, veganism will always be bro science, because there's never going to be a time where the medical community, the science field, will ever truly accept a report that shows, hey, this person had cancer and now they don't, but it's because they were a vegan. Me personally, and Google it. Google Nick Shell, that's my name, dyshidrotic eczema. And you can see the picture of my hand. It wasn't even at its worst, but you can see half of my hand was just red and burnt from my eczema that I had. And it eventually got all the way over all of my hands like that. It was just awful. I don't have that anymore. I'm not allergic to animals anymore. I can breathe out of this side of my nose, which I couldn't for 20 years. I used to have headaches all the time. I used to have acne all the time. All those things went away 5 years ago. Okay? So either I just made that up and it's bro science, or personally, I have found that you can find healing without medicine if you just change your diet. So, okay, I guess I just convinced myself that being a vegan truly is bro science. But ultimately, if you watch What the Health on Netflix, you'll see that the medical community is never going to accept us, because we can't prove the things that we say are true, the way that we have found healing by switching to plants only, because it's not there to back up medicine. And as long as we're not accepted, because we're not here to prove anything by medicine, we can never be proven. It's always just going to be some silly person on YouTube saying, yeah, you know what? I used to have dyshidrotic eczema. I used to be allergic to animals. I used to have headaches and acne. And I used to not be able to breathe out of the side of my nose due to constant sinusitis, but now I don't. See, I'm always just going to be some silly guy on a YouTube channel. And no one, and you can Google this. I wrote on my website, I said, I found the cure for dysbiotic eczema, but nobody cares because I didn't prove it with medicine. Google that and you'll find the thing I wrote. Like, I think that's the corner that we'll always be in. We'll always be the crazy ones. The crazy vegans that think that they can be healed of things like cancer and diabetes and even prevent those things. They're so crazy, and I'm okay with that. My personality type, I'm Enneagram type 1, the reformer. Not worried about peer pressure. Don't care that other people agree with me. I have my moral code and I live my life, and if people follow me, great. But my motivation doesn't come from needing to feel loved and accepted. I do what's right in my own core beliefs, and I'm gonna keep doing that. So what I'm saying is, I'm a vegan with a type 1 personality on the Enneagram, meaning that I just don't need to convince other people of this. So I'm okay with the label of bro science. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't make me think, but I gotta prove to everybody that this is real. No, it's real for me. And I can tell you this, if I even wanted to go back to eating meat and eggs and dairy, my health problems would come back. So what's the point? I know that that's how it works for me. That's how my DNA is designed, or whatever happened. That's my life, and I accept that. I am destined to a life of bro science because the medical community, the scientific world, will never accept that people can become healthier and cure diseases and prevent diseases by switching to plants only. And amazingly, get enough protein. Here I am 2 pounds away from being overweight on the BMI. I'm 5'9" and 168. If I gain just a few more pounds, I'll cross that line and be over 170. And I'll be over. I was overweight earlier in this year, and I actually had to really focus to get back under. So I've been in this same calendar year in 2018, and I've got videos to prove that, and I show the scale how I had to lose weight. But then there's still people who still think vegans don't get enough protein. Anyway, I'm alone in my principles. I'm alone in my bro science. I'm okay with it.